Rodgers has found Randall Cobb for a touchdown more than any wide receiver has been found for a touchdown so far this year. And he joins me right now on the phone on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Randall?
I'm doing great, Rich. Thanks for having me.
You bet. So to what do you owe all of these touchdowns coming a cropper for you so far this year?
Man, I don't know. I guess just finding a way to get open and, find an outlet for Aaron to come to, whenever we get down in the red zone.
So you don't say to Aaron, I'm open?
I think he sees me waving my arms around in the air half the time whenever he starts scrambling around.
How much fun is this for you, based certainly on last year where you couldn't play all 16? You weren't healthy enough.
It's great. I'm glad to be back out there with my teammates, back out there doing what I love to do. And, it's been a fun year. We're rolling right now. We got a big win down in Miami this weekend. Really looking forward to coming back home to Lambeau to play the Panthers this weekend. So
before we get to this week, let's revisit last week, the fake spike that everybody's talking about. We read all about how nobody else knew that Aaron was doing that. Walk me through that play from your vantage point, Randall.
Well, I had just caught a pass. It was a low ball, so I had to go down to catch it. And once I caught it, I knew we had to get the spike. So I gave the ball to the ref. I looked back at Aaron, and he actually gave me a signal. So I knew that it was a possibility that he was going to do the fake spike. So I ran the route, and he happened to go to the other side, and I don't think anybody else knew that he was going to do the fake spike. And, I mean, we practice it all the time, doing the fake spike just to catch our defense off guard sometimes in practice. So
when he did it, you're like, wow, he actually did it?
Yeah. I think that's the first time I've actually seen him do it in a game. So, it's just him freestyling and being a playmaker that he is and being able to make a big play for us at a crucial time.
Just speaking to so many players, as I've been fortunate to do over the years that I've been with NFL Network, and talking to players who have played with MVP players and candidates, they don't want to let them down. That there's a sense of camaraderie and there's also a sense of team, but there's also a sense of not wanting to let Aaron Rodgers down. And you as one of his primary targets, what has that been like for you, being Aaron Rodgers, one of his primary targets?
Well, it was definitely it definitely had its growing pains, throughout my career being here with him. It took me a while to get acclimated to him and what he tries to do with our offense, and basically building that trust and that chemistry with him. But once I built that trust and chemistry, I think we're on the same page for the most part, and we have a good understanding of each other and know where each other's going to be on any play.
So interesting. Was there a moment where you gained his trust and things turned, where you turned a corner in that relationship? Is there one of those sort of eureka moments that you could pinpoint in that regard?
I think so. I think in Detroit back in 2012, we were down, and it was a big third down for us. I think within 3 minutes left in the game, and he came to me on a corner route, and I was able to make a play for him. And I think that was definitely a turning point in our chemistry and our relationship on the field.
And there's a bunch of receivers, young receivers in your receiver room who are probably in that position that you were describing, needing to get into that sort of comfort zone with Aaron Rodgers. Are you counseling these young men like Davante Adams?
Yeah, I'm telling them everything that, I went through, and just telling them how important the communication is in practice, in the meeting rooms, just walking around the facility. All those conversations are very important, and he may tell you something on a Wednesday in week 3 that doesn't happen in the game until week 10, and he expects you to know that. So I just continue to preach to them how important those little reminders that he give us throughout the week and, back in training camp, how important those little things are to hold on to. So when we do get into game time, that he's able to trust you, that you're going to know what he's talking about from weeks back.
How does somebody from Knoxville, Tennessee, wind up in the University of Kentucky, Randall?
I get that all the time. It was a tough decision, but it turned out for the best.
So it was your decision?
It definitely was my decision.
So why did you make that decision?
Because I felt more comfortable with the coaching staff that was at Kentucky at the time. My recruiting coordinator and Randy Sanders and Coach Rich Brooks, they did a great job, recruiting me and, not telling me what I wanted to hear, but telling me what I needed to hear, and I respected them for it.
When you were in Knoxville, Tennessee growing up, who was the wide receiver you were admiring?
My dad was a big Steelers fan, so we watched a lot of Steelers games, and Hines Ward was probably my favorite receiver. Just his play style, the way that he played with an aggressiveness and a toughness that, was unmatched by a lot of receivers at that time.
I don't get to speak to so many enough world-class sprinters like you were in high school, Randall. I don't know if you've seen my 40-yard dash attempts at the combine the last few years.
I've seen it a few times.
Okay. Do you have any tips for me? I'd like to get faster as I get older. Can you help me?
I really don't have too much for you. I think it's going to be hard for you, with your declining, your declining speed as you get older. It's kind of tough for you to continue to increase your speed.
Well, Randall, haters are going to hate.
Hey, man, I'm trying to be one of those haters right now just to motivate you.
Okay, I'm
coming from a different angle.
Okay, I'm like Steve Smith Sr. You know what I mean? Like I soaked this up. I soaked this up. And I think I'm gonna use this if you don't mind.
I hope you do. I hope you do. This is the reason that I'm doing it, so you can use it, so you can have that motivation whenever you're out training. I guess you train like the week before.
Oh no, I'm in training right now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, okay. Literally, as I sit here, I'm doing ab exercises while talking to you. I'm doing mental reps as well.
On?
Yeah, I'm doing mental reps.
Are you doing the hip hop abs from the commercial?
Yes, I'm doing that. That's exactly what I'm doing.
I got you.
Randall, thanks very much. Good luck this weekend against Carolina, which, as you know, is a very stout opponent. So good luck to you on that front and moving forward.
All right, Rich. Thanks. I appreciate it.
You bet. That's Randall Cobb.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern, on Audience.